There's a fellow with a big Alsatian coming in behind us. He won't like getting held up. The good thing is these two haven't seen it, because they're too low down and too preoccupied. Grass is gradually drying out over here. Well, the one with the Alsatian turned and followed me round, and they never reappeared, so I don't know where they went. I know where these two would be. If they weren't on the lead, they'd be chasing the birds. We're out early anyway to dodge the midday heat. They don't seem to mind going out early, as long as they get their 3 walks a day. They can count to 3. Gradually got them down from 5 to 4 to 3 walks. Well, they always used to tiddle in the garden, so there was never any problem. And Carla and Shadow used to just hang on. They wouldn't tiddle at home until they got older. Then they'd tiddle in the kitchen, unfortunately. If they couldn't hang on. But until the last couple of years, they certainly only ever used to tiddle on the walks, whereas Wally would be in and out every time he has a drink. What goes in has to come out at the other end. That was his philosophy, and he stuck to it. Well, we met a few people. A big Alsatian. It turned out the fella with it wasn't a fella, it was a lady. And she had one of those enormous great training leads, and it clearly needs a bit more training, because she struggled to stay on 2 feet when we were walking within 50 yards of it. I don't think you should have dogs like that if you can't control them. I don't mean as in telling it to sit and behave, but just generally physically being able to control it. No matter how bad these two get, I can always reel them in and just physically pick them off the ground if I want to do on the lead, and they can't do anybody any harm. And if I don't do that, I can certainly hold them at my ankles while they jump and hop. She was clinging on for dear life. Wouldn't have taken much to pull her along. Best part of the day to be out with the dogs, this is. Bright sunshine, cool breeze, very little actual heat in the air. And in the grand scheme, we didn't meet many people. The footballers are starting to populate the field across the way. I was hoping we'd be back and across by the time they came out. It's usually the supporters that have other dogs wandering around off the lead, so we should still be okay. Alright, I'll say goodbye. We'll maybe see you later on this afternoon, if not tomorrow. Good morning, Bank Holiday Monday, 5th of May. I've just been enjoying watching Harry's farm on YouTube, and just as I was thinking a few weeks ago, maybe we're going to get lucky and have another summer like 1976. He's saying the same with the rain records. Much of Europe's getting rain, but in this part of Europe we're not at the moment anyway. Farmers won't be happy, especially over here, because they never prepare for a rainy day or a dry day, as the case may be. They won't have any silage built up for feeding cows when there's nothing much is growing in the fields. Personally, I look forward to it. 1976 was a wonderful year. I was 13. I was playing golf nearly every day, in between playing cricket. The West Indies were in town playing cricket against England. Viv Richards was getting runs for fun. Michael Holding was knocking heads off. Fantastic year. I was a big fan of West Indies cricket. Still am, to be honest. Won't mean much to people outside of the cricketing world, but I loved it. It was also the year we got a one of those big above ground swimming pools, and we used to be in the pool every single day. We got it filled before the hosepipe ban came in. There was predictions of doom, nothing was ever going to grow again. Yep, nothing was going to grow again, everywhere was brown, nothing green to be seen. And we didn't have a hosepipe ban until pretty much the end of it all. We were able to change the water in the pool a few times. Everything came back to normal come September. About the end of September it started to rain again. We went through May, June, July, August and most of September with absolutely no rain whatsoever. Summers in the 70s, worst summers. We used to play cricket every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Well, I wouldn't be playing at that age, I'd be going watching my dad. I'd be doing the scoring. And I can't remember any games of cricket being cancelled in the 70s. Maybe we just played in the rain, I don't know. I probably just had the odd shower, but we didn't have covers like they do now, and we lost pretty much zero numbers of games to the weather. By the end of the year, all the dead grass was living again and bright green. We used to take all our holidays on the east coast around Skegness area in those days. Then we started going further afield, Wales and Cornwall. And we went to the Isle of Wight. That was another very hot holiday. The first time we ever had somebody cooking for us. We stayed in a B&B type hotel where we had breakfast and an evening meal. And I remember my brother, older brother, getting sunburnt on his feet and crying like a baby about the pain. He still doesn't do pain very well. He's just had recently a hip transplant and he's the world's worst patient. Everything's a drama. I remember in Wales once he got toothache and was screeching the place down. And Mum and Dad had to take him to the emergency doctor and he was howling in the waiting room, and the nurse came out and roared at him and he shut up instantly. As I say, even to this day he still doesn't do pain. He's having a good old sniff this morning. He's going to get a bubble bath later, so we're out a bit earlier than normal. So we'll get him back after he's had all his tiddles, and then get the girls out, and then the day's our own. So it's a bank holiday Monday, so it'll get busy later on, so get out now without meeting anybody. And we won't have any confrontations. I don't trust it when it stops, gets his nose buried into the grass. We're not making much progress. Something captured his sensitive nose. The river's nice and low, although it's fairly deep round here because it's hollowed out more at the bottom. I don't know whether you can see somebody's trainer upside down in the water there, making sure there's nobody attached to it. I think there's only one thing on his mind this morning, and that's his cross on when he gets back. Dear oh dear, how can one blade of grass be so interesting to sniff at? Come on, come Milo, come on. Look at all that fluff. It's all off the ripe dandelions in the fields. It's all blown up and caught up against the fence. It's across all the fields. It got carried along in the breeze and deposited everywhere. Well, there's people out on the swings already, and it's barely 8 o'clock. In the kids' play park. No. You can tiddle all you like, you're just not eating. You've had your breakfast, which he did this morning. Sometimes he just ignores his breakfast and waits till this afternoon, or the afternoon. We stood in the middle of there yesterday where it's shallow, and Milo had a little splash to keep cool, and I did a 360 video where you can just turn the camera and have a good look around and see it in the full 360 perspective. I wonder what the waterfall was like in 1976 after months and months of no rain. Was there anything coming over it? If we do get one, as long and dry as that, I shall be here to record it. That nose gets more exercise than his feet, or his paws. Come on, Milo. Come on, come Milo. Come on, Milo. Good boy. There's a rabbit in the distance. I don't know whether the camera picks it up. It's on the edge of the grass near that signpost. Milo's not spotted it. The girls would have spotted it by now. Another sniff fest. Go on, good boy. And when we see you again, we'll be out with the girls. Right, we're out with the girls now. Quick turnover. We'll change around. Nice to get out in good time before all the kids start coming out and other people with their dogs. Even though the fields are empty, I prefer to go across the water in case somebody comes around the corner. Sandy knows the route. She's going straight for the water. Some kids' fleece. Must have left it there after the football and forgotten about it. There's one jogger in the distance and he's just turned into the other field, so we don't have them to worry about. There's a woman behind with a big dog. She's just seen us and put hers on the lead, so hopefully we don't have that one to worry about. And she's turned around anyway and gone the other way, so she must know us. Their reputation goes before them. They open up like Moses when they're around. Everyone gets out of the way. And if they don't, they wish they had. I've got too many clothes on. I've got a big thermal hat on because it was cold first thing this morning, just as the skies were going a bit brighter. It's about 3 degrees, but now it's considerably warmer, especially in the direct sunlight. Sandy's on a mission. I think all the hedgehogs come out to play around here at night, and that delights their noses in the morning. She's off again, and Sky's making up with ketchup. Her tongue is hanging out, even though the air temperature is not that warm. In the sun it's like being in the Costas. We just don't get their peak temperatures. I think we've got a peak today of about 16. We're in the shade. I had to put the camera away because that fellow in the distance with his dog was attracting too much attention from these two. So he stepped on the accelerator and I put the handbrake on. So we've got a bit of distance between us. And things are back to normality. There's not much that's normal there with these two. Not when they've got their eyes trained on something. Trying to slow them down. And they're both out in front. Usually it's Sandy out in front and Sky out behind me in equal distances. I'll just do a panorama of the blue sky. So you know I'm not joking when I say it's a beautiful bank holiday Monday. I doubt it'll be long before we start hearing about the D word and hosepipe bans and all that tut. Nobody asked the questions, why didn't we build any reservoirs over the past 49 years? Let's face it, Australia had a few wet years and now things are getting back to normal in Australia, so we'll certainly do a dry one or two. One thing with it being out, or with us being out earlier, the dogs aren't in and out of the water every 2 seconds trying to cool down. That'll be this evening's walk. They still find plenty to sniff on this bank though. Plenty of clumps of weeds that every other dog tiddles on. Sky! Come on.